Hey everybody, this is GQ for CultureJunkies.net, and we are standing here in Seann's Anime and Comics, just outside of Toledo, Ohio, in Sylvania, Ohio, and we are standing here with an awesome artist, very, very cool guy. Talked to him for a few minutes, and I can't say I fell in love with him. That'd be a little bit odd, a little bit weird. Seth Damoose, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing real well, and how are you doing?
Well, glad to be here. Glad to get an opportunity to come out and talk to some fun people. Interesting people. Now, just talked to Dirk not too long ago, Dirk Manning, and you guys have been working together for a little while. And let's talk about that. I mean, you do Tales of Mystery. You do the artwork for that. How did that come about? How did you guys get together?
Well, Dirk and I started out sort of working the same shows, just kind of bumping into each other at social gatherings, seeing each other on the floor, and we became sort of mutual fans of each other. And then we just kind of started talking from that, and he always said, and I always said, if your schedule clears up, I'd love to do something for you. He said the same back to me. Next thing we knew, something cleared up, and it was short stories for Nightmare World Volume 2 and Volume 3. And then that kind of grew into taking over for the art duties on Tales of Mystery Volume 2.
Very cool. Now, a lot of people, most people when they do artwork, it's just like, man, I've been drawing since I was a kid, or, I took an art class and then just kind of fell in love with it. How did you get into doing drawing and illustration?
It's pretty boring, really. I mean, I just drew like every other little kid did, and then by the time I turned 12, I think I had that light bulb moment where it just kind of turned on, and I said, "This is what I want to do with the rest of my life." So from that point, I just kind of made it a focus to get better and better every time I did anything, to try to learn from it and get closer and closer to being a professional at it.
Very cool. Now again, one of those ones that we were talking about just before we started was a book that you have called Brathalla. Tell people about that, because I like the concept of it. So let's get into that a little bit.
Brathalla was a webcomic I started, co-created, and drew all the artwork for, other than the colors. And it's Norse mythology, gods and goddesses, so Thor and Loki and Odin, as elementary school kids. So Thor is the runt of the litter. He hasn't hit his growth spurt. He's not the big bad god of thunder yet. And to sort of cement that role, we gave him a wooden training hammer. Because as a father, and I know full well firsthand, I don't want to give a 6-year-old that kind of power. But I want to get him ready for it because he's going to be Thor. So it's all family-friendly, fun, tongue-in-cheek. There's jokes for grown-ups that the kids won't get, but it's cartoony enough and fun enough that the kids will just love it. So a little bit of everything for everybody.
That is awesome. Now, I mean, one of the things that usually comes up anytime you talk to an artist is usually, what's the process? How long does it normally take for you to finish a book?
To finish a book, honestly, it really depends on the time. As I'm only doing this part-time still. I still have the full-time day job. I'm married and have a little girl, and we just got a puppy, so time is hard to come by lately. But usually, start to finish, I can get a page done, fully penciled and inked, and off to the colorist or ready for print in probably a couple of hours, which I've been told is quick, but that's just the way it works for me. I just sit down and work. So a lot of my time is spent on the weekends. I'll sit down and work for 8-9 hours, and then send Dirk or whomever I'm working with, I'll send them 6-8 pages if I get them all done. So it'll still take me about a month to get the book, 22 pages done, but I'm only working on Saturdays and Sundays or late at night during the week. So it really depends book to book. Now, I mean, I've gone back and scrapped panels and had to redo panels and made alterations, so it takes a little bit longer then. But for the most part, it's probably a couple hours per page.
That is awesome, man. I mean, like I said, for me, I can barely draw a stick figure. So I mean, just to hear that you're doing but I'm just to hear that you're doing full on panels, like that, and like you said, a couple of hours. I mean, that's amazing. So I mean, what do you got coming up?
Coming up is I've got the piece in the Pearl Jam anthology that Dirk wrote the prose for. I'm about to start a project that I'm not sure I can start talking about yet with another creator. And I've got another idea I'm also working on as a pitch for down the road. But Dirk and I will have new Nightmare World and working on Tales of Mystery Volume 3 and Volume 4. So, busy.
Sounds good. And again, Seth, we appreciate your time, man. Yeah, great work, man. Thank you.
Culture Junkies!